In the first tutorial in this three-part series, what we learned how to do was take one of our own custom PDFs, and in this example it was a credit card form, and go ahead and attach that to one of our quote documents. So you can see here this is the standard quote, and then down below it what we have is our own unique look and flavor for our credit card form. So now we can send this, we can download this file as a PDF, send it as one PDF to the customer, and again we can have as many customized appended documents as we want to have. In the second exercise, what we learned how to do was send this electronically by using the send function. Okay, so we took a look at this, and now when we saw that we'll send this over to David Waters, we put in an email here and we made this link available to download. We were also able to see that in the sent files, this included the activity of David receiving this information, and then that he or she, whoever your customer would be, downloaded the information, and it stamps the date and the time here. Okay, so we talked about that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take it one step further, and this function is only available in quotes in all Mothernode CRM and ERP products, and in select editions that include work orders. Okay, so if you're sending work orders to customers, you need to have them sign electronically. You have that feature with them as well. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to send this same quote, okay, to the customer, and we want to have them electronically sign off on this. Okay, so what we'll do is that when we do this, we're going to go through the process as we would be from the business perspective of communicating this information to the customer. Then we'll look at what the customer's experience actually is and how they go ahead and fill that information out. So what we're going to do here, we're going to go through the process. We're going to click send again. It's the exact same process as if we were doing the download with an extra step. So in this case here, I want to send a quote, and I click send, and again my email comes up as we saw earlier, and then also in the previous demonstration. And what I'm going to do here is I am actually going to use my categories again, and I have one that I've made here called approval required. Okay, now I'm going to add this here, and again this is my standard disclaimer here that just basically says make sure that your placeholders are all valid that you're using in this specific form over here, and so we don't see any field names rather, and we won't here because these ones were specially designed for quotes. And so in this specific placement text, I have the quote number and of course the quote name. So the quote number pulling from here and the quote name pulling from the Nikon cameras here. Okay, and with a thank you for your business. Now I want to put in my Ken Pearson. Now, important to note, if I were to click send right now, this would include the download link. Okay, it would not include the approval link. If you want to include approval, then you have to check this box over here that says require signature and approval. Okay, once you click this link will change. Okay, and when I click on this link here, this will actually, I can copy and paste this, give it to the customer, but this will give me the link to go to of what the customer's experience will be. Now we're almost there, so I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to click this. We're actually going to go through and send this to David. We have the approval required, and then as David, we'll assume his role as the customer and see what he or she can see. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click send. All right, it's done. So while we're waiting for that, let me go over here to the sent files. This just came through, of course, and now you can see that we have a different type. Before we had download, now we have the approval type, okay, for this document. So we know that this is out for approval, and of course, it hasn't been approved yet, and it says pending, okay? So let's take a look at this. This just came through in my email, okay? I'm going to double click on this, and then pull it over here, and this is what David has received, okay? His instructions, my really bland signature again, and of course information about the document for approval over here. Okay, so when David clicks on this, it now takes him to another it takes him to the web, opens up his browser, and he now sees that this document, the 2 pages that we've seen, we have our own quote here, okay, and then we have our rendering on screen here. We have the credit card form, so he knows based on the instructions that we may have sent within there that he has to fill this information out, okay, and he has access to this. And of course, you know, our logo, this is your company logo up here as well, so that appears over there and it shows who prepared this information. And if you want, you have some zoom functions here, etc. Okay, so those you can actually use your fingers on the phone, but this is basically what you have. Now, what he can do in this case is he can actually download the file if he wants to have that on his hard drive, or he can go ahead and sign and approve it. So when he decides to sign and approve it, he can sign and approve two different ways. One, he can give a printed name, or two, he can sign with use his actual signature. So it depends on the format in which you're receiving this. If you're receiving this on a desktop, it might be worthwhile just to put in your name. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to put in your email address, okay, over here, so you'll get a confirmation on this, okay? So we have the type, or we can go ahead and draw. So if we wanted to, we have the ability here to just do this, draw and sign our name there if we'd like to do that. And let's just assume that this was the preferred method for the customer. We can either clear it, but we won't cancel it, but we want to sign and approve it, okay? So I'm going to click sign and approve, okay? Now what will happen is that we will now have a confirmation, okay? So this is our confirmation screen here. We can go ahead and download that if we wanted to get a copy of this, but this is also going to be sent to us. So just now you heard the ding. We have our electronic approval that has come through, and basically this has where I can go ahead and download this PDF. I have it on file, and it thanks us for a business, etc. Okay. This information, by the way, is also customizable. The message plus the message that you see on screen can also be configured within your settings as well. Okay, that'll be covered in another tutorial. So now what has happened back at the ranch is I'm going to refresh. Like I said earlier, I can click on the sent files folder just to refresh this screen, and now you can see that David has approved this. Okay, so he's gone ahead, we have confirmation of this, and then you can download, this is the great part, you can download his signed copy right here. So his approval has been stamped within the actual quote record itself. Okay, so some great features there that really automate the quoting process for you, really help differentiate yourself in the market from the way your competitors are doing business with your industry or your industry customers, and really separate the way you sort of look at the market and look at the customer. So very important, just always remember this, is that the way you respond within the quoting process is always going to be a testimony to your customers to how you're going to be handling business with them in the future. So this is a great way to really boost your appearance and add some extra value in the sales process to your customer. Okay, hopefully that helps, and as always, you can leave comments below, and if you have any questions, contact us or visit mothernode.com.